Hey, this is Noel Crosby at Randolin Music, randolin.com, and you're Randolin on YouTube. So today I'm going to show you some transition converted tresses that I talked about a couple months ago in an earlier video when I was in South Carolina, and also one in process and another one that's cut out to begin. And I'll show you the wood, how it's cut out. Though the top on that one may change, I haven't decided. I'll talk about that when we get to it. So you'll see the beginning process from that for that one in pieces, or as it's begun, and then as it later on as it progresses, I'll do some more videos on that. So as far as conversions, this was the first full conversion I did. I did do two earlier conversions that were just straight across conversions without doing a lot to them. The first one was a Recording King parlor size guitar. Nice size guitar. For me personally though, the neck, the scale length was a little long. I have a few little small hand issues, so I like a shorter scale length and a narrow neck. That one moved on to somebody else who was interested in the sound, and then I converted, because I'd seen somebody else do this, convert a Baby Taylor. I like the neck on that. I didn't really like the overall playability and sound. So the next thing I converted was I had this old, was an old Goya. Not quite a dreadnought, I don't really know what size you would call it, but it was basically a Goya steel string folk guitar built late 50s, early 60s, and it was sitting in my shop for a long time, pretty beat up, destroyed, and I decided, well, what harm could it do to turn it into a Tres? So made it into a cutaway, took the back off, rebraced it entirely, made it into X bracing, and took the neck off as well and put in shorter scale length. This is a 22-inch scale fingerboard that I had laying around, so I reused the fingerboard. It's basically a parts guitar for the most part. The big difference with this one, between the next one and what I'd done before, was this has a floating bridge on it, which seen doing a lot of 40s, 50s, early 60s folk guitars too, but I wanted to see what the sound was like on this. It would be a little more mandolin-like or something. And also, you see, we were using the mandolin tailpiece, which they're using also on other Tresses, and I'll show you that in a minute. Why it has benefits on not, especially with the steel strings. Traditionally, they would be using more classical style bracing, which would be light and would probably be harder on the tops. This guy So you get that kind of cross between a archtop guitar and a mandolin with a flat top. It's a big body, big sound. I like the neck on this, but I'm not crazy about big bodies. So this is a transition instrument. It has, again, pluses and minuses, and pretty beat up, so you don't have to really worry about that. One thing you might be wondering about, what is this big black triangle here? So originally underneath here somewhere was where the original bridge was, and it left a pretty big scar, and I didn't really want to refinish the entire guitar. Also had a bit of partial crater, so I actually inlaid a piece of wood on that to to make it flush. And just decided that the easy thing to do was to cover it up was to make it black. I thought about making the whole top black, but for some reason I just decided on the idea of this little triangle, which makes it kind of interestingly unique. Then the next conversion was this Ortega Requinto, which some of you may know is like essentially a small body guitar, often used in Mexican and other Latino music. I like the size of this guy. It's a little small body-wise. It's very thick, you might see, the thick body. But I did replace the bridge on this. The bridge was not really exactly in the right place. Had some intonation problems. And also then was able to just double through 3 pairs of holes as opposed to the other one. Originally I had to drill some extra holes, so it was kind of messy and not exactly quite right. And then we're using mandolin tailpiece because see that, again, as we were talking about a minute ago, this would have classical guitar bracing, so the steel strings would be a little heavy for that, and this kind of minimizes or negates any possibility of the bridge really coming up. Some other people have done that in some harmonies, and Kays did that in the 50s and 60s as well. So this guy, oh, I'm almost tripped. Got too much stuff around here in the shop. So definitely a different sound in the same family, but instrument-wise. So pluses and minuses still. I mean, these are not things I did from scratch, so they're not exactly. This one's the Goya body is a little closer in some ways, but still not exactly. Still experimenting. So another body this was an old, I'm not really sure what, I don't remember what it was, but it was a small parlor guitar size, folk guitar, probably from the 50s or 60s, I can't remember. But it's all solid wood, so I just decided it was something good to experiment on. So again, parts, but this is all maple back and sides. Gonna put some binding on the edge here. But this has got a mahogany top. Thought I'd like to experiment with mahogany to see what the top. So what we've got already is we've got the Requinto has a cedar top. The Goya has a spruce top. This is gonna have a mahogany top, and we'll see how I like that. And this has X bracing in this, kind of minimalist X bracing, but X bracing, advanced X bracing, that's just I think one. And then the weird thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to try, because I like the feel of, and it's a couple of extra old baby Taylor necks, and so that's going to go here, and this is probably, I haven't decided where this is going to have the same style of bridge as is on the Requinto, or if I'm gonna do more straight out arch top bridge. I haven't decided about that yet, but it'll also put a mandolin tailpiece on it as well. And then after I make some decisions about that, then what we'll do is eventually, hopefully not too far down the line, I can get a real instrument I'm happy with. So this, I was a little bit using parts. The instrument I showed you yesterday, or recently, depending on how long ago you watched that video, if you watched it. This is actually was a back that ended up being slightly too small for the 028 that I showed earlier, and so I ended up using it for. I'm going to use it for this. Don't throw anything away. It's always something good. This has again. This has got very old piano rib sound for the bracing, and this was can't throw this away too. This is my great grandfather cut this wood in 1946. It's black walnut from West Virginia. This will be, can't really see the stripe and the figure in this right now because it's pretty, it's not started really. And then the sides would be butternut, which are in the same family, so in a different color. I'll stain them so they match, but butternut and walnut are in the same family of tree phyllis, or whatever you want to call it, botanical phyllis. So the pores in the wood are very similar, and this will take. They also the butternut bends like butter, literally, when you bend the sides. What I haven't decided whether we're going to have an arch top. You can see this is actually cedro, which I also showed you in the earlier video. This is cedro from Costa Rica. It's a cousin of Honduran mahogany, but lighter. I have used it once on a top, and it was fine. But I'm thinking of doing this as an arch top, with a complete arch top and carved, and it would have a D-hole. I like the D-holes, they're bigger and stuff. Be a cutaway. So like that. And then got a short, where we got the fingerboard prepped for this. This would be a 22.5-inch scale. And then this will be the neck, which obviously it's not cut out yet. So you get to see how that works in that process. Probably be some sort of snakehead kind of thing. This is more black walnut. Same board is from this, so got very color consistency there. So that's some things in the Tres world. I don't claim to be the major expert on that yet, but it's all in the same, for me anyway, the same kind of family as mandolins, octomandolins, double string things. So I'm kind of combining some things, and we'll see what comes out. So if you're interested in that, send us some, contact us, or just continue to watch the videos and see what comes out of this great experiment. All right, see you later. See us at randolin.com or right here on Randolin Music Channel on YouTube, or contact us, randolin.com. See ya. I'm Noah Crosby. Bye.